Hey guys, my name is Bianka G, and I'm telling you about my coming out experience. I'm from New York, I'm 22 years old, and my career base is helping trans youth to find their beauty, and no matter what shape, what color, or what size you are. I currently work at the Anti-Violence Center, helping LGBT youth find their rights in this world and how to self-defend themselves through harm in the state of New York. I currently work with people that are confused about their identities and don't know who they are. My goal in life, when I was younger, I didn't know what trans was. I didn't know what gay was, and I didn't know what lesbian or bi or gender fluid was. I didn't have those inspirations growing up. I came from a family where they accepted me for who I was, but really didn't look at labeling me. They let me be free and let me be whatever I desire to be, but they never said, oh, you're trans. It was out of you're a boy or girl, and that was it. So I always got mistaken for, that's a girl, that's your nieta, and nieta means like daughter in Spanish. And I grew up by that, and I grew from, thinking that life was like that. All trans people had that experience, like their families was accepting. And when I came to New York, I wanted to start my transition in New York. I realized there was a lot of trans people from 16 to 24 that got disowned by their family. And I was always confused by why. And I never had that experience. So growing up, I knew I wanted to help people. And I feel like when I was 21 and lived in New York, I was like, this is my time to help my community that I'm in. And I went to the California Center. It was the first place I went to. And I realized there was a lot of trans youth there that needed inspiration and guidance. And I knew I wasn't the right person because they were like, who is this girl? Who's this person coming here telling me how to live my life? But I wasn't trying to guide them to live their life. I was just giving them information to help themselves. I used to donate wigs. And I think one thing for a trans woman, especially, is having hair. And the little bit I can give was important to me. And being at the California Center, I met all type of trans people, from trans men, gender nonconforming, that also like to express with femininity. And it was beautiful to me that these people were out here, didn't have a family, but they created a family. And a year into New York, I started a trans awareness group at the California Center. I started speaking up for trans rights at the California. I think people need to represent trans, especially in the LGBT community, and that's my goal. I also work at the Anti-Violence Center, which I help trans identify, know their rights. Because in the state of New York, we get a lot of hatred through the police department, especially what was confused for sex work and doing all that. So my goal to help in life is to always make sure trans knows their rights, make sure they feel beautiful, and make sure they know how to keep themselves safe. And I grew up not knowing any of that. And I'm learning just as I'm teaching them. And I always say, if I can help somebody, even if it's one person out in this world, that would make me happy. And I'm not saying I'm the perfect trans girl. And I'm not saying I'm the perfect example for all. But I know there's somebody out there that has the same story as me and that wants to help somebody. And if my goal is to help you and you want to receive my help, then come on board and listen to me. Because I always think I'm funny, I'm pretty, and I'm a good time. So, and as a trans woman, I want to say my 3 advice to anybody that wants to transition or is transitioning and wants a better lifestyle. It's always to research where you get good benefits. Luckily in the state of New York, hormones are free with Medicaid. Surgeries after 2 years on hormones is free. It's always important to know what's free in this world for a trans woman, because we all can afford expensive things, especially surgical wise. And also, knowing your rights is important. Joining organizations such as the California Center, the Center, joining groups at the Anti-Violence Center, knowing all these systems, meeting new trans people, going to trans groups, researching is important. nowadays there isn't that much research, but if you can go on Google and you can search up your favorite artists, you can search up where's the best resources for a trans person. And also resources, there's a lot of free things giving out. I know makeup is important, and you can always go to Sephora and get your free samples, girl. Don't ever forget. But it's important just to know your system, and Google can help you now. I remember when I first Googled something, there was nothing online that I Googled where's the best person a trans person can go in the state of New York, and the Ali Forney Center was the first thing that came up, and I went. And luckily, when I went, I realized there was more than Ali Forney Center in New York. And that's when you need to realize there's a lot of resources. And if you Google it and you find it, then you can help somebody else.